Article 28 on church power, ecclesiastical power. So this one, Article 28, is wrong from the start. There's no build-up here on ecumenical terms or on common ground. They are, like I said, wrong from the beginning. So they're going to make some claims about the church, about Catholic beliefs that just aren't correct. And the power of the word is not held in honor nor revered as equal to the power of the church. The church cannot go against the Bible. And war is not a blessing. Peace is. War can be necessary, or it can be a necessity, which is different than a blessing. But good can come out of it. These Protestant reformers with the Augsburg Confession are drawing a hard line in the sand here. They call matrimony and teething human rights, not divine institutes. But they're wrong. They don't seem to understand that we cannot hurt nor harm Christ's merit. It seems to me that these Protestant reformers with the Augsburg Confession are coming out against four ideas, or what they would identify as four different Catholic claims. The first is the idea that one can merit grace. They stand firmly against this. The problem is that the Catholic Church does not make this claim. In fact, the Catholic Church teaches that one cannot merit grace by their own human works. Grace is a gift from God alone. Second, they take offense to the concept that one can make satisfaction for sin, saying that this either takes away from God's glory or takes away from Christ's merit. This could not be further from the truth, as satisfaction has to do with temporal consequences, and any form of satisfaction would be a form of acceptance of forgiveness, and it would also be an act of training or self-discipline in an attempt to follow God's will by practicing good habits to conform to God's will. Their understanding, these Protestant reformers, their understanding of Catholic terminology and theology seems to be lacking nuance. Third, they find it a useless human work for the conscience to be bound to necessary service. This just makes them seem lazy. And fourth, they feel that it should not, and therefore is not, a sin to break an obligation or a vow. This last one just makes them look bad. Then they make the claim that all this, everything that they wrote, all the Augsburg Confession, Article 28 in particular, but all of the Augsburg Confession in general, was written for the sake of love and tranquility. They say that Scripture has abrogated the Sabbath. They claim that keeping neither the Sabbath nor any other day of so-called obligation is necessary. And to me, this is just a giant move against Levitical connections in the liturgy. They say that all of this concerns the righteousness of faith and Christian liberty. But they ask and I ask, if that is true, then what is the aim of the gospel? Because the aim of the gospel is unity and salvation, then what they're saying is incorrect. Now, their counter to this question is that scarcely any canons are kept with exactness, meaning the Catholic canons. And day to day, many go out of use, even among the most zealous advocates of tradition, capital T. To me, and to many Catholics who have read it since, all this amounts to is an act of schism. Now, they're going to use different texts. They're going to use Matthew 7, verses 9 through 23, Mark 16, verses 15 through 18, Luke 10, verses 15 to 16, John 20 verses 21 through 22, and Acts 5, 20 through 26, as well as some references to Corinthians, 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians to prove these points. I'm not going to go through those right now because I've had a lot of issues with recording, and I don't want to record all of that if it's not going to actually keep. If this recording is good and the video is solid, I will post this, and then I will do a follow-up video with either the quotations or the summary of the entire Augsburg Confession. If I do the biblical citations, it might be in a separate video as kind of a supplemental to the supplemental. And then 2 videos from now, we should be back into the Council of Trent, assuming I get my camera and recording software up to par. Anybody have any notes on how to use OBS with a capture card on an Alienware computer? I would greatly take that advice. I recently updated my computer to add in the capture card so I can do some higher quality videos, but as soon as I downloaded OBS, the way that I'd been recording is now no longer an option. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. All right, talk to you all later. See you all next time on the summary, and then we're on to the Council of Trent.